Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today to share with you another one of my Tuesday morning haul stash busting layouts that was created using a bunch of Halloween goodies that I got from Tuesday morning. So there is a paper pack from Echo Park. There is a sticker collection from Crate Paper. There are some stickers also. The thicker stickers, the glitter thicker stickers, they are also from Tuesday morning, and a bunch of other things. So I have these 4 pictures of my daughter. This was last Halloween for 2017, and she was Hermione from Harry Potter. She is a huge Harry Potter fan, and so I have this pattern paper that is a black and white sort of check, spotty. It's a cool black and white, and I'm going to use that as the background, and then I'm going to use these stripes from Echo Park that I'm just going to cut thin stripes of to sort of, I'm going to call it head and tail, the layout. So they're going to bookend the layout on the left and the right. So these, I'm only going to use 3 of the 4 pictures, and then I'm going to cut a square around them, and or not a square. I'm going to cut rectangles of the pattern paper to then have 6 rectangles that will go on that left hand side of the layout there. Now the colors in the layout are very much Halloween-y, and that is what I'm going to use as my color basis. They have nothing, they don't really work very well with her costume, and it's not that they don't work well with her costume, but typically I choose the colors of my layouts based on the colors in the photo that complement the colors in the photo. This is very clearly a themed layout and is themed to Halloween, and those are the colors that I'm going to use. So I have scraps of paper. It's a 6x6 paper pad that also came from Tuesday morning. This was before I was doing Tuesday morning hauls. Those are also things from my stash. Those are actually from my Simple Stories days. Those are frames from one of the tropical collections from 4 years ago, maybe. So I knew I was going to have to cover up whatever the sayings were. I think one of them said destination. And so I'm going to just use various stickers and things to cover up the frame. You know, as I am voicing this over and as I edited the video, I'm not quite sure what I was thinking when I put that frame off to the right-hand side. I'm sure I had a line of thinking for that, but now that I'm voicing it over, I'm not quite sure what it is. I think I would have preferred it much more were it to have been centered in the center of that rectangle, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to rifle through these embellishments from Pebbles. Those are also from Tuesday morning, to find things to kind of fill those frames, those chipboard frames there, and find a way to incorporate those into the layout there. I'm going to adhere these down. The darker border ends up being on that right hand side because it adds the weight on the right hand side that, to me, that purple balances out all of the photos and the darkness in the photos that are on the left hand side of the page, and it provides some symmetry and some movement for your eye to go back and forth between the two, and not just kind of rest on that heaviness that's on the left hand side there. And then you have some lighter borders, and again some of that ripped. It's actually just sort of a asymmetrically cut washi just to provide a little bit more border off of both sides, and it takes that straight edge away because it's a very grid-like layout, and so I felt that by putting that asymmetrically cut washi tape, it just kind of softened things up a little bit, in the layout there. Sorry about that little hesitation in my narration there. I had a Chick-fil-A cup that I knocked over and fortunately did not manage to get all over my laptop. So now I'm just using my ruler to adhere everything down. The more I do these voiceovers and I watch myself fight with that ruler and the symmetry of lining things up, I really need to get myself a T-square. Does anybody else not have a T-square that really thinks that they should have one? Raise your hand if that's you. They're not very expensive. They don't exist at Michael's. And so, yeah, no, I haven't picked one up yet. I have some twinery twine here, and I'm wrapping that around that chipboard frame. By doing that, it serves two purposes. I've wrapped the twine for the splash of black. Each of those rectangles has a little bit of black to it, and it just provides some unity throughout the layout. That was reason number one. And then reason number two that I put that there is it adds a little bit of movement to the page. The loose ends, they're just little tails off of that twine, kind of just float around, and they're kind of like bats in the night sky in a way. So there's that chipboard frame that I've put off to the right hand side, and I'm sure at the time I had a reason for it, but I can't tell you, can't help you, don't know. It's there and it's there to stay. I want to say that I'm gonna lift it up in a second, but I don't. Well, it looks like I'm about to try to lift it up. Actually, that's not true. What happened there was I didn't trim this down to size, and so it's just a tad longer, and it didn't give me the symmetrical borders from all of the rectangles that I wanted, so I just trimmed it down with my X-Acto knife there. Mr. Owl there is going to be a perfect embellishment for this Hermione Halloween layout. Because he is going to be resting on that chipboard, I end up having to put some foam adhesive behind him so that he doesn't sink down into that. And then I have this crepe paper sticker. I love the way that the jack-o'-lantern pops out through that frame there, and there's a little bit hanging off of the side, but that's okay. That works as well. And that puffy sticker just lets you know, in case you didn't figure it out, that it's Halloween. It's just another way to use some of my goodies from my Tuesday morning stash. I have a fairly sizable Halloween collection, nowhere near as sizable as my Christmas collection, but I really like Halloween. And so I collect a fair number of things. And unfortunately, my children this year have decided that they are not going trick-or-treating. Last year was Nicholas's first year not trick-or-treating, so that's why you see only Mia in these photos. But she has decided this year that she doesn't need to go trick-or-treating. So there will be no more trick-or-treating layouts from me, unfortunately. I am going to have to get my Halloween photos in some other shape, form, size, and manner. So I've finished filling out that bottom chipboard frame. Now I need to work on this top chipboard frame. That green that I'm sticking down there, what I'm going to end up doing is that is going to be my journaling spot there. And the green is very vibrant, which I like, but to soften that a little bit, what I did was I typed out my journaling using my We Are Memory Keepers typewriter, and then I'm just going to adhere that vellum rectangle on top of that green rectangle, and that just kind of softens it up a little bit. I'm just trimming off the edges here so that everything's symmetrical. I really wanted to incorporate that cat with the moon into the layout over on that right hand side there. It needs something on that right hand side to add just a tad more weight to it. However, cats don't sit up in the sky, which is kind of the illusion that you were going to get with that, so that's why I end up abandoning that piece there. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I tried to get a little bit of black into each of those rectangles for balance. There's a perfect visual triangle that is created from those bats as well that move your eye down through the pictures and across through the journaling down to that bottom picture there. So these are also from Tuesday morning. These are some of the Halloween thickers. These I actually happened to pick up at Hobby Lobby, but I also picked them up at Tuesday morning as well, so I have double the set of those that need to get used up. And I like the way that the stars and the moon. Again, it's that black and it's that weight that balances the layout. Another thing that I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to thin down some black acrylic paint and put some big splotches of black acrylic. And again, that black, that heaviness just ties all of the layout together. So just toying around with some last minute embellishments to fill up those squares. I'm going to use a couple of word phrases that are gold foiled. These are also from Tuesday Morning. They're Art. I think Art is the brand name. It's just a little tag. And that, my friends, is my stash bash using some of my Tuesday morning goodies. Really, other than the typed journaling and the splashed acrylic, that is going to call that layout done. So I hope you have enjoyed this process video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. If there's anything else from my Tuesday morning stash that you've seen in my haul videos that you would like to see me use up, do leave that in the comments down below because I'm always open to suggestions. So enjoy the rest of this video. Enjoy the rest of the close-ups. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. Thanks for stopping in today. Take care.